Welcome back to Border Adventures. It's the final day of the season with Feyenoord in the Eredivisie, and it is the second leg of the final of the European Places Decider. And our squad is on its knees. We've suffered 3 more injuries, and then 2 of our players have gone off to the World Cup. Just before we show you how desperately thin our squad is for this afternoon's game, let's just have a look at how the 2 teams that sacked us got on. A little bit of Schadenfreude. Lille, 5th, 2nd when they sacked us. No Champions League football for them. I think they've had a pretty poor second half to the season. Plenty of defeats in there. We were looking good, not just for Champions League football, but for being the closest challengers to PSG. But because we lost in the French Cup quarter-final to Lyon, well, they decided to dispense with our services. And the fact that they have picked up, 5 defeats since we left? Well, I don't think they can be too happy. Stuttgart probably were well within their rights to have got rid of us and appointed Zidane, but well, they only finished 7th in the Bundesliga, and let's not forget the year that they sacked us, we'd won the German Super Cup, beating Dortmund in the final. Jose Mourinho considers that a trophy, so not going too well for the teams that got rid of us. But for Feyenoord, things are going a little bit better. We've won a European trophy, but this afternoon, it's going to be a tough ask. Look at some of the players we're missing here. Matt McMillan, first choice left winger, out injured. Timmy Mallet, first choice centre half, out injured. Best goalie in the world, possibly. He's gone to the World Cup with the Netherlands. Who's he sat next to on the plane? Abe van der Meulen. He would have been starting today. More suspensions. Wout van der Hayden is out as well. Also gone off on international duty, Dora the Explorer. Our young right back, Maurice Beale. He's out injured as well now. So we are missing, 7 of our players. The team we are putting out there is patched up, to say the least. The end of this season cannot come soon enough. We are at least taking a first leg lead into this second leg against Herenveen. Frank Gagnou, who is a squad player really, came in on the right wing. He managed to nod home a cross at the far post. Gave us a 1-0 victory, but whether the team that we're putting out today is going to be good enough to get that. I mean, we've got backup goalies, we've got midfielders playing at right back, we're bringing in 18-year-old, very raw. I mean, he was in your team. Is he a championship player? Maybe a League One player? We've got players who have already been transferred out of the club that are coming in. We've got Van Ooyen, who since we arrived has already had a move to Willem II arranged. Luckily, we've got the great one up front. And his fitness is not too bad considering. Look how quick this kitten is. If we are to sneak through this, I think Bremer is the man for us. As he was in that European final. We're in that away kit again as well. Maybe we're branding that our lucky strip. And we're going to say we can deny them. They did not respond to that. We'll show them some faith. Not particularly gone mad for that either, have they? Going to be a tough game, this. Particularly when you're playing in the same colours as the opposition. Don't think that's going to help. And we're a little bit confused about why we're playing this game. I thought by winning the Europa League 2, the Europa Conference League, does that not qualify us automatically for the Europa League? I thought it did. Like, the winners of the Europa League qualify for the Champions League. But I looked at the rules and I couldn't see anything that said that. So the winners of this game get into the Europa League. I think the losers of it drop into the Conference League, the competition we've just won. So maybe we need this one. I think both teams would have qualified for the Europa League depending on who the winner of the Dutch Cup was. Ajax played in the final of the Dutch Cup against a team from the division below, and they lost to Excelsior. So I think Excelsior get a Europa League spot by virtue of winning the Dutch Cup, which is why we are in a playoff to see whether we can qualify for the Europa League as well. I thought that was going to be a sending off, but Romero's in. This is his last ever game for the club. And he signs off with a pretty crisp effort. 1-0 on the day, 2-0 on aggregate. Maxi Romero, what a good finish that was. I thought we got a red card. But Romero's actually picked it up. Edge of the centre circle. Oh, and he has hit one. But he's going to be 32 at the start of next season. And we had a £8 million offer from a club in Argentina, and he really wanted to go. And to be honest, he wasn't really part of our plans. So we have let him return home. And our squad is so thin that even though we're going to try and keep hold of all of our players, we have been shopping around for a lot of replacements. Have we got an extra goal? We have. It's Romero again. He's got a brace. I think we can say that we are there. And this is a successful first season in charge of Feyenoord. I think we've qualified for the Europa League and won the Conference League. Not bad. But transfers. We had a budget of 40 million. That's not huge when you're trying to pretty much assemble a squad. But we've done some business. We've done it early. We've got maybe 6 players lined up to come in already. A couple of them pretty cheap. Most of them youngsters. Couple of the slightly more expensive ones. 7, 8, maybe a 10 million. We might recognise them. Don't get excited. We've not been able to afford to bring back any of our faves. There's no Garincha coming. We're not getting Granoche. Couple of players you might remember, though, who I think at an Eredivisie level, I think are going to be pretty good. But that is for another day. The final thing we are going to do this season is to sub off some of our more important players who are on the verge of passing out and drop this to balanced and try and see out the season. We're 3-0 up, 2-0 today, 3 on aggregate. I think if we pull this off and get away with it, it's not a bad first little half a season at Feyenoord. We're not getting excited because we started off well at Stuttgart and we started off well at Lille, and both of those ended up in a sacking. Oh, goodness me, I don't know why that goalie was jumping both ways for that one. So we're not getting ahead of ourselves. We're keeping a real close eye on that club vision now as well. They want attacking football. We can do that. They want us to blood lots of youngsters from the academy. We're already doing that. And we're going to continue to do that. We've had a good ferret around in those under-19s. We've got a couple of players called up for next season. But also, lots of the players that we are signing are 18, 19 years old. A couple of cheeky wonder kids in there. Not Dutch, but the board seemed to like them anyway. They said they matched a club philosophy when we went to sign them. The squad's going to be a little bit deeper next season, a little bit stronger. It's going to be youthful. And we are going to be very, very militant, rejecting bids for our better players. We're not going to cave. If they get unhappy, they're just going to spend time out of the squad until transfer windows close. And then we're going to try and get them to sign new contracts. And if that doesn't work, well, we're going to come back in January and maybe reassess. One player we do quite like, by the way, is Tim Faber. 17-year-old who maybe will have more involved next season. Okay, what have we got? 10 minutes left. We still got a game on, by the way. Here's me waxing lyrical about my plans for the next season. We still got a game on here. And we're still passing the ball back to their keeper. All right, we're done now, aren't we? Let's play this out. Come on. We're done. These boys need to get on holiday. We're already on, I think it's the 5th of June today. This Dutch season, it goes well into the summer. I think we've got about 3 days off and then we're back for pre-season training. And most of our players could do with a much longer rest than that. Whether the players from the World Cup will even be back by the time we start pre-season training, I'm not even sure. As old Stan Whiffert gets Herenveen a late consolation goal. Classic Whiffert, that. There's Hirkies. Out to Bauman. Slings it over. Where's the whiff? Oh, towering in. Don't think it's going to make any difference, Whiff. I think we've won. I think we're going to be in the Europa League next season, which is good. Bit of a payday. There's a trophy for this, apparently. I don't think we really want to celebrate that, do we? We're going to go passionate and say, very happy with the result. I'm very happy with the way you played. I'm very happy with the season since we took charge. Where were we? For that Pegs Volley game. So we've actually been in charge a fair old while now. Had a few defeats in there. Ghent, Sparta, Den Haag as well. Otherwise, not been too bad. Right, we've done lots of business. We've got lots more to do. There's a little bit in the kitty. We might try and move maybe one player along just to create a little bit of funds that we can go and spend. But then we're going to be back. It's going to be the first game of our first full season in charge of Feyenoord as we get to the last season, maybe 2, of Border Adventures.